Hello and welcome. It's Thursday evening here in Vista, California. I'm at my new place. I actually just moved here almost 3 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago. It's a brand new neighborhood, and I have my Baja here, and then here is the place that I'm renting. It's a 2-bedroom ADU. It has actually a great view. So down this direction is the Pacific Ocean. And from my patio, which is here, I actually have a really great view, and even my desk, the window in the corner, I have a nice view at the Pacific Ocean. It's far away, it's probably 5 miles or so, but it's still a really great view, so I'm enjoying every moment here in this place. But yeah, today I wanted to take some time and talk about suspension. That's the topic of today's video, because just a couple of weeks ago I actually drove up to Santa Ana to Deaver Springs, not a location Deaver Springs like a Springs. No, Deaver, the leaf spring company or suspension company. That's more the title that they have, Off-Road Suspension. And I had them add a leaf to my Carli XXHD Progressive leaf springs. And yeah, I want to show you how the work turned out and then talk about the results of what I'm experiencing now driving with this. This was done on June 30th. Today is July 17th. So I had not full 3 weeks out of it, but 2.5 weeks of driving with this upgraded suspension, and yeah, the results are in. So I'm gonna share those with you in this video. But first, let's take a look at the suspension, and then we go into more details. All right, time to crawl under the truck and take a look at the upgraded suspension. Where are we going? Yeah, let's start here. All right, the camera is a little bit confused. There we go. Now you can see the leaves. They're shiny and black, and well, I actually had some surface rust on some of this stuff here, and put Eastwood rust encapsulator on it to protect everything. I live near the ocean, so the air is very salty, and that's just for protection. So I've done the same thing here on the axle, but that's not the topic of today's video. So here you see the leaf springs, and let me count them for you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 leaves total for the, I still want to say Carli XXHD Progressive leaf springs, and at this point it's customized and it drives different. The reason why I went with Deaver is actually Deaver makes the leaf springs for Carli, and so it was more than natural to just go and have them do the upgrade to the suspension. And why did I upgrade the suspension? Well, that is a good question, and I want to give you a good answer for it. Let me flip this around here. Here's the other side. You can see the bump stop too. I'm still thinking of making some changes to the bump stop and replacing it with a Timbren, but that's again a different story. So the suspension upgrade, so here's the leaf spring. You can see it here again. Probably doesn't tell you much. I don't have before and after film material. I took some pictures before and after, but the results that I feel while driving, that really makes a big difference. And yeah, that's what I want to talk about. Let's get back out of this uncomfortable position without bumping my head. So I went to Deaver to get the Carli XXHD Progressive leaf springs upgraded for the following reason, that the Carli Suspension leaf springs are rated for up to 3,500 pounds of permanent load. And yes, I'm over the 3,500 pounds of permanent load. So the suspension was soft, it wasn't bad, it was not like going in a bad direction in any way. But being, I want to say, over the weight limit of the suspension of these leaf springs, that concerned me a little bit. And I noticed a few things while driving. And so I talked to Deaver up front, and even talked about making potentially a full custom leaf spring kit for this Baja specifically. But based on A, the investment that I had made, and B, of what I think the rig needed, adding a leaf was the next step step from a financial perspective, but also I think, especially now with driving, that was the right decision. I don't need a custom leaf spring set at this point. This change, this add a leaf to this set really takes care of my needs for the Rossmonster Baja. So the Rossmonster is built on the F350. It's a 1-ton truck chassis, and yeah, each rig is different in regards to the GVWR, and this is not anything I'm doing here to change the GVWR. That is not possible. I can upgrade the rig to be able to carry more weight, but that doesn't mean it's improving or upgrading the GVWR from a legal perspective. The truck is licensed and built from Ford with a certain GVWR. That's not what this is about. This is really about the right quality and having the right suspension for the weight that I'm carrying. Of course, you could say, okay, yeah, you're over GVWR and that's why you need to upgrade the suspension. Well, that's not correct. But overall, I built this rig with a specific reason in mind. When I ordered the truck, I made sure that there are certain things that I'm not ordering because of weight. And I also, when I talked to Rossmonster, there was enough, or there is enough buffer between when the rig is built and, I want to say, in a dry state, unloaded, just the rig itself, compared to now that the rig is fully loaded and ready to go. So this is not that reason. So the reason is really the drive quality. So the suspension felt soft, and you could say, oh yeah, you want a nice comfy ride when you go off-roading, and that's fine, but it also comes with a problem like sway or bouncy, and that's really where my concern was, that not just that the rig was not sitting stable enough, it sits stable, but that I'm extending the suspension, that I'm with the weight that I have, the permanent weight that is on here, it's over 3,500 pounds, that it impacts the longevity of the leaf spring pack and prematurely, I want to say, wears it out. I think when I talked to Deaver, they said usually it lasts about 10 years, but you also have to look at the individual use case. And so the weight that is sitting on here is over 3,500 pounds. And so I decided to add the leaf into the mix and improve the suspension. The weight on the rig, and like I said, the ride felt soft. It felt comfortable, but there was enough sway and bouncy that I wanted to say I personally like it a little more stiffer when it comes to the suspension. And so that is an important part when you go and drive this rig. I mean, it gets a decent amount of highway miles when I go to locations, and a decent amount of off-road miles. And you have to find the right mix in between. And for me, it's like, okay, I will air down the tires when I go off-roading. So that's where some of the softness will come that I need when I go off-roading, but I also need stability. And I already had one, I want to say, issue where I damaged my Rossmonster Baja, and I can show you that here, that the wheel actually pushed into the wheel well and damaged slightly the fiberglass here. When I go to Rossmonster in September, I want to have them look at it and see what can we do to fix this. But it has to do with the suspension, that the wheel travel goes up a little higher, and in this case it went up too high and yeah, damaged part of the wheel well. Not dramatically, not a big deal, but that's one of the reasons why I'm looking at the suspension. Will the upgraded leaf spring in this case prevent this? Probably not. So there's a lot of wheel travel, and I mentioned just earlier that I need to look at the bump stop, and I'm thinking potentially doing a Timbrance replacement or maybe a Sumo spring, but I need to figure out what is longer. I don't necessarily need the full protection of a Sumo spring or the two-part Sumo spring as an example, but I need something that is a little longer than the current bump stop and just prevents the wheel up travel to go all the way through until it hits the current bump stop. So it needs to stop a little earlier, and that would stop it from going into the wheel well and causing any damage. So the suspension is stiffer. The drive is significantly better in my opinion. Yes, I hear more, or I feel the road a little more, which I really like. I really like to understand what I'm driving on, especially when I go off-road, to really just have a better feel for the truck and how I need to maneuver it. It's an important part for me, how I drive. So for me, it's really a lot of, I want to feel where I'm going, and I feel this with the upgraded suspension, so I have better control of the truck in my opinion, and I don't mind the extra stiffness that comes from the suspension. So I mentioned sway earlier, and with the upgraded leaf springs, this sway has significantly been reduced. So when I make a sharper turn, it's significantly better to go around the curve somewhere without feeling the truck going left and right. It's significantly better to handle these type of turns. And again, that is something for me that gives me a better control over the truck and makes me feel more comfortable and feel more safe when I drive this vehicle. So from that perspective, mission accomplished. So when I talked to Deaver, they also said that it will lift the rear end of the truck about an inch up, an inch and a quarter, something like that. I did not measure specifically how the truck looked like and what the wheel base and the top of the wheel and the wheel well, what the difference was before and after, but I hope that this shows it a little bit. The rake is significantly more level at this point, and that again is an important part for me that I had noticed when I'm at full load. I'm sagging a little bit in the rear, and sagging is not necessarily bad, but again it impacts the drive a little bit, it impacts the use of the suspension, and for me, since when I travel, I have 40 gallons of water in here, 48 gallons of gasoline. There's a lot of weight that goes into this rake, and it's important for me that the rake is stable enough that I feel safe driving it. And it's a lot of weight. I'm at around 12,000 pounds with this rake, and so it's important that the suspension matches up. And yeah, it's the longevity as well. When normal suspension, a leaf spring suspension, goes for up to 10 years according to Deaver, and you always drive it at the maximum weight, then it wears out the suspension prematurely. So here with that added leaf spring, I don't know if I added 300, 400, 500 pounds of weight capacity to the leaf springs, not the GVWR, then that will help that the leaf spring is not operating at the highest level the entire time. It has a little more room, and it's a little more bent. So when you see leaf springs not attached to a rake, you see that they're really like not U-shaped, but yeah, have a good like half moon type of shape. And so that's an important part with the suspension from a longevity perspective. So again, Deaver said it lifted the rake in the rear about an inch and a quarter. And for me, the way how the truck looks like is an important part as well. I mean, I'm on YouTube and on Instagram. I really like this rake. I'm totally in love with this Rossmonster Baja. So, and yeah, optics matter a little bit, and when optics and functionality meet, and that's one of these things, this is where optics and functionality meet, that the rake is more level, is an important part for me. With the rake being more level, that also means that my headlights are pointing better onto the road. I'm not blinding other people. The rake is lifted. It has a 3.5-inch lift. It sits on 37-inch tires. So it's a tall rake, and when you're then not level and you're driving in the darkness, you might be blinding other people. So I want to try to be considerate, and this is definitely adding to the safety level, not necessarily for me, but yes, if other people coming my way are not being blinded, it's a safety thing. So definitely important. So you see too many rakes with a lot of weight in the rear. They're not sitting level, and then of course they're blinding other people in the darkness. So that's not necessarily what you want. So the suspension, I mentioned before, this is the Carli leaf spring packs, the XXHD leaf springs. And yeah, it's an expensive investment. So I think it's about $3,500 when you buy it from Carli or CJC, where it came from. And that's the price I paid with Rossmonster, as they did the entire conversion of this F350. So it's an investment. And I was really thinking about, okay, what would a new leaf spring pack cost me? So let's say roughly $3,500 for a replacement. And the upgrade with the added leaf was about $1,000 that came on top of it. So I'm $4,500 into that leaf spring pack on top of the Carli pin top suspension that I have here. And yeah, at a certain point, I don't want to spend more money on this rig. I want to experience things and I want to be able to travel, and that time is coming. This year did not work out for health reasons, that I'm more at home than on the road. But come September 20th, I will be on the road for quite a while for the rest of the year. And I wanted to have this rig in great condition for that moment. So the Rossmonster Baja, Rossmonster has put a great package together, and in my case, my rig was still a custom-built Rossmonster Baja. It's not the Baja Trail or Baja LX that you can buy nowadays. They're pretty much identical, so this one would be more like Baja LX. It's still upgraded from the base Baja LX model if you would compare it one-to-one. That includes the suspension. So when I talked to Rossmonster, I wanted the Carli pin top suspension. They actually suggested the XXHD leaf springs. And I'm pretty sure they have done the math with everything. And the standard Carli XXHD leaf springs are not too far off. So my rig has a decent amount of weight. I have a larger battery pack. I have more solar on the roof. I'm actually adding something to the rig when I visit Rossmonster in September that will add a little weight, not dramatically, but it will add a little weight. And that's where the XXHD leaf springs were really, it's like, yeah, it's probably not the right thing anymore. It's probably a little bit too much weight that goes onto those leaf springs. And that's why I decided really, it's like, okay, let's do the right thing, upgrade the leaf springs, and then have this rig stable and solid for the future. So the sun is going down. It seems to be a nice sunset tonight. I will try to catch some more footage later on and just add it in here. So it's a great view from this place. I really like living here, and I'm enjoying every moment in this neighborhood. It's a gated community. It's not super large. It's probably about 30-40 houses at the very end. But yeah, it's fun being here, and with this view and the sunsets all the time, I'm definitely having a good place to live here. This is my home base. So I think that gives you a good idea of what happened. So to summarize it all up, I added a leaf to my Rossmonster Baja Carli XXHD leaf spring pack. I think it was the right move. The truck drives significantly better. It has significantly less sway. It really meets up with the weight that I have on this rig. And I mentioned that the XXHD leaf springs are rated for 3,500, and now I'm definitely in the right place because I carry more than 3,500 pounds extra weight here in the rear, and so it's the right thing to do. I think the truck drives fantastic. I'm very happy with the outcome, so I think it was money well spent. If you have a Rossmonster Baja or any rig with the weight and you go with the Carli XXHD leaf springs, make sure you check out what is your weight that you carry permanently and how is your rig driving. I think this is the right thing to do, either upgrade the entire leaf spring pack or add a leaf and make it right so that you are driving safe, that your rig is properly sitting on the suspension, because it's not just the suspension longevity, but it's also the longevity of the entire rig frame, the camper, the Rossmonster Baja that is sitting on top of it. So all these things come together, and this is a small piece in the big scheme of things, but it adds a lot of value and really turns this rig into that off-road monster that it needs to be. So that shall be it for today. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so as well. And then I would say I see you next time in my next video, and let me go around one more time. Enjoy the colors here of this Southern California sunset. And yes, I'll see you next time in my next video. Bye-bye.